Over half of the world's population lives in urban areas nowadays. My name is Sophia, and I want to take a closer look in this presentation on the role of urban forests as a powerful solution in mitigating the effects of climate change. Studies suggest that cities account for 40 to 70% of all greenhouse gas emissions worldwide due to resource consumption, energy, infrastructure, and transportation demands. Statistics show as well that these cities suffer from very bad levels of air pollution. In addition, densely populated urban areas face a disproportionately higher vulnerability to extreme weather events. Elevated sea levels have the potential to induce urban flooding along coastlines, while cities distant from the ocean may experience flash flooding as a result of extreme rainstorms. Another aspect is the spread of infectious diseases, which is a lot more likely in big cities due to density, transport networks, crowded housing, industry, and occupational structures. As an example, we've seen that with COVID, big cities were highly more affected than the countryside. But cities can effectively manage the impact of intense storms by increasing green spaces and surfaces that absorb rain, redirecting flooding away from populated areas. Additionally, the planting of more trees can contribute to mitigating the severity of extreme heat waves. This so-called concept of an urban forest empowers cities to enhance their resilience through the impact of climate change. The heat island effect, a consequence of this urban warming, is effectively mitigated by urban forests through the provision of shade and the reduction of solar radiation. Urban forests also help mitigate climate change by capturing and storing atmospheric carbon dioxide during photosynthesis and by influencing energy needs for heating and cooling buildings. Shading and reduction of wind speed by trees can help to reduce carbon emissions. The sustainable use of wood, food, and other goods provided by the local urban forest may also help mitigate climate change by displacing imports associated with higher levels of carbon dioxide emitted during production and transport. Singapore, for example, announced a plan to turn public housing estates into urban farms. According to urban forests, biophilic architecture is another concept already implemented in the Amazon sphere in Seattle. It has become popular among architects wanting to combat air pollution. The concept has designers embedding plants into walls, buildings, and even draping entire cities in greenery. Amazon sphere in Seattle has become a very known example for these biophilic projects. It is situated within 3 blocks of Seattle's Deney Triangle neighborhood in Washington, with 3 monumental spherical domes which grace the landscape. These striking structures are integral components of the Seattle campus belonging to the corporate powerhouse. The Sphere's house has over 40,000 plants of nearly 1,000 different species. The ecosystem's characteristics are termed cloud forests, since plants at elevated altitudes derive their moisture directly from clouds. The spheres are heated using recycled energy, which is 4 times more efficient than traditional heating methods. They do this by funneling heat from a nearby data center underground through water pipes. This serves the dual purpose of generating energy and keeping harmful emissions out of the air. In addition, the Bosco Verticale by Stefano Boeri inspired a new generation of urban reforestation projects. The Italian architect has received, for example, the European Lung Foundation Award for improving urban air quality through his projects. The vertical forest is the prototype building for a new format of architectural biodiversity. The first example, built in Milan in the Porta Nuova area, consists of 2 towers that are respectively 80 and 112 meters high, housing a total of 800 trees. The plant-based shield doesn't reflect or amplify the sun's rays. Instead, it filters them, creating a hospitable internal microclimate without adverse effects on the environment. Simultaneously, the green curtain serves to regulate humidity, generate oxygen, and absorb both CO2 and microparticles. Several years post-construction, the vertical forest has become a thriving habitat, hosting a diverse array of animal species, including approximately 1,600 birds and butterflies. It has emerged as a hub for the spontaneous recolonization of flora and fauna within the city. Another big project of the architect Stefano Boeri will be Lisieux Forest City, which shall become the world's first forest city. It will be located north of Lisieux, a Chinese city of about 1.5 million people in the southern and mountainous province of Guangxi. The idea of Stefano Boeri and botanist Laura Gatti and her team is to choose plants that can grow easily in that environment, to design an ecosystem that can sustain itself as independently as possible. The master plan is currently being implemented and covers approximately 175 hectares along the Liuzhong River. Apart from accommodating around 30,000 residents, it is said to host approximately 40,000 trees and 1 million plants. Apart from the just presented projects, Boeri and his team are currently working on many more different projects of cities in the Middle East, China and South America. If these urban cities turn out to be very effective in mitigating climate change effects, one day our cities might all look green from Google Earth. Thank you for your attention. These are my used sources. And these are the sources for all the used pictures.